Hello Dealey, and welcome to Something Edible.
Have you ever tried, well, of course you have, but the cranberry sauce in a can, it's just, I don't even know how they pass that for cranberry sauce. I mean, it's on the list, but it's just, it doesn't even taste like cranberry sauce anymore. I mean, anything that comes out of the can in the form of the can, it's its own beast, you know, and whether you love it or hate it, that's not cranberry sauce as far as I'm concerned. Cranberry sauce has real cranberries in it, and that's what we're going to make today, because you're going to need cranberry sauce with the holidays, and we're going to show you how to do it. And we're going to have some awesome ingredients in there with the cranberry sauce, stuff like red wine, and put some fresh lemon in there, and we're going to work with some real vanilla bean too. So this is how I make cranberry sauce, and let's get some prep work done and then move to the stove. All right, first things first, we got to get some zest off this lemon, but the best way to do that is a microplane. You don't need a huge lemon for this. You just need just a standard size lemon. If you got really small ones, then you get a big one and use half of it. See how the microplane just takes that off of there? We don't have any of the white stuff coming off of there. That's exactly what you want. Got my handy dandy juicer here. There's one half. And there's the second half. You're looking at a couple of tablespoons of juice there. We're also going to need to prep one vanilla bean here. Cut the ends off. Save these for your vanilla sugar. And then you need to be careful here, but just kind of split down the middle of the bean. And you can already see the pulps coming out of there. That's how you know you got a good one. And then I'm going to take the back edge of the knife and kind of press down this open edge right here. See that? That's the good stuff right there. And we'll still use the rest of this. We'll actually steep the the rest of this pod in with our cranberry sauce, because there's lots of good stuff in there too. Vanilla beans are ridiculously expensive at the store. You can buy 2 of them for like $8 or $9. But if you go online, eBay is great for this. I've got all my stuff prepped, and I'm ready to start up my stove over medium heat. And now I'm going to start adding my ingredients. About everything except the cranberries. So I'm going to start out with a cup of sugar. And we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of red wine. I use Shiraz, and the box stuff is totally okay with this. And basically, if you're not going to drink it, don't cook with it. Don't use cooking wine, that's nasty. But, you know, any other kind of wine, I've used blush wine for this, it's fine. We also got the juice of our lemon. About a 1/4 cup of water to cut the acidity of the lemon. And now I'm going to add that lemon zest. A 1/4 teaspoon of minced candied ginger. You can get that in the spice aisle, or you can make it yourself. I made that myself. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I know it sounds weird, but the salt really makes the vanilla pop. And speaking of vanilla, we're going to throw the pod in there. We'll fish it out later. Don't forget to fish it out later. And then there's the pulp from both of those. So we're over medium heat. We're going to let this, we're going to stir this up a little bit, make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. It shouldn't on medium heat. But once that sugar is dissolved, we can add the cranberries. All right, so we are to the point where the sugar is completely dissolved. And right before I started stirring this, you can hear it starting to boil. So I think we're ready to add our cranberries. And we're going to add a 12-ounce bag, that's 1 bag of cranberries. And see how these are kind of frozen? That's okay. The frozen is the best way to keep cranberries. I mean, they keep forever in there. You're talking like, you know, at least 6 months in the freezer with cranberries. It's great. You know, buy them at the end of the year when they're on markdown, but not before I've got there because I want to buy them first. But after that, then, you know, just stock up. Then you have cranberry sauce anytime. It doesn't have to be Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of that. This is fun. Look how red those are. That's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to let this come back up to a boil. And as it comes back up to a boil on medium heat, once it hits that boil, we're going to turn it down to a simmer. Okay, you see how this is just starting to boil and these cranberries are starting to split. You can actually hear them kind of sizzling as they burst open. Give that a stir. And now that it's really moving, we don't want to cook this into oblivion. Yeah, it's starting to move now, and you can hear those cranberries getting mad at me. We're going to turn this down. We're going to turn that down to medium-low, and then I'm going to set the timer for about 10 minutes and check on this at that point. Don't be afraid to give this a stir every once in a while, and if your stove's still too hot on medium-low, turn it down. You want this stuff to simmer. You don't want a raging boil here. All right, then, it looks like we've gone 10 minutes here, and you can see that this is really reduced down. I'm going to kill the heat, and you can't forget to do this. Take those vanilla pods out. You can put those back in the jar if you want to. It kind of keeps that vanilla flavor going. And then the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to blend this just a little bit. I got a stick blender, so I'm going to hit it with my stick blender. Just a little bit. You don't want it to splatter too much. Just enough to pop all the berries in there. Mostly. And then you'll see it, you'll release those pectins, those natural pectins in the cranberries. It instantly starts to thicken. All right, time to put the stuff in jars. I saved the beans. I'm going to put the vanilla beans like right in there in the jar. Just don't serve them to anybody, but you know, if this stuff's sitting in the jar, you might as well get some flavor out of it instead of throwing it away, you know. Now, you notice I'm putting this stuff into canning jars. That doesn't mean I'm canning it. It just, you know, it's hot and I want it to cool. And I know that a couple of clean canning jars will be able to take the heat. So I know you're supposed to let this stuff come down to cool and then it gels up, but it's already started to gel up a little bit. And honestly, when it's warm like this, one of my favorite things to do is pour it over a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's like a sauce twofer. We get a little bit of, we get a dessert topping, and we get something we can use in all sorts of other dishes. Let's see how we did here. It's still a little hot, but that's okay. We get that hot and cold thing going. All the cranberry flavors there, plus that red wine that we use, just really makes that pop. You expect cranberries to be tangy, and you don't want them too tangy. You want a little bit of sweet in there, and that's why we put a cup of sugar in there. But you know, it's really good. And let it sit out to cool on your counter, and then put the lid back on it and let it sit in your fridge for about a week and tops. You know, it won't last that long, but you can keep it for about a week. And I put it on next to turkey, on top of turkey sandwiches. It's great. Just anywhere you want a little bit of that cranberry flavor. I put it on zucchini bread, banana bread. Oh, there's a thought, banana bread. Just anything you would put jam on, this cranberry sauce will work too. So if you want to give this cranberry sauce a go, you can get the recipe at hdnews.net, or you can also get the recipe on my website, somethingedible.com. And I'll give you all the details that you'd ever want and a few pictures too over there. And if you have questions, you can hit me up at Facebook or on Twitter as well. So until next time, enjoy.